Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. HTM here. I'm already working on my second playthrough of Starfield and beginning to realize just how important those early starting skills are. Why? Well, in Starfield, your skills rank up naturally by using them in related challenges, so if you don't unlock them early, you won't be completing those same challenges, and you'll eventually have to stop your progression and farm skill ranks just to catch up. And not only that, but many skills in Starfield unlock new forms of gameplay like boost packs, ship targeting, extreme outposts, and combat slide that you cannot use if you don't unlock that skill. With that in mind, I've come up with a list of the top 13 best skills you need to unlock early in Starfield, so make sure to watch this entire video from start to finish and rewatch anything you missed using the timestamps in the video player. Many thanks to Bethesda for sponsoring this video, and if you don't have it yet, you can pick up Starfield beginning September 1st on Xbox and PC with the Starfield Premium Edition, and it will be available for everyone else starting September 6th. And more info on Starfield can be found below in the pinned comment and description. First up, let's talk about our core essential skills for Starfield. These are the skills you absolutely cannot live without, so I recommend that you unlock them first. Now, the good thing, as I said, about all of these skills is that they level up naturally just by playing the game, so you'll also be able to rank them up early to improve them as soon as you have enough of those skill points. Number one on our list is security, found in the tech skill tree. Now, security is essentially Starfield's version of lockpicking, but a bit more advanced as it uses multiple overlapping layers of rings that you have to fill in the gaps for it to clear the lock. Now, locks in Starfield will be found on both containers and doors, meaning not only is breaking through those locks important for gaining more loot, but if you don't have the higher ranks of security, your progress is going to be ultimately blocked whenever you hit one of those locked doors. Ranking up this early will mean that any locks that you open along the way will fill up your challenge meter naturally as you play the game, letting you eventually open every possible lock type all the way up to master, getting a few additional perks that make that process easier, and making sure that you don't miss out on anything. The second most important skill on this list is called Boost Pack Training, also found in the tech tree by the way. This allows your character to use one of the best features in the game of Starfield, and that is boost packs. Seriously, you need to get this skill unlocked as soon as possible because not only is it very fun to use, it also opens up way more possibilities for traversal and even combat when you can easily take to the skies whenever you want. Boost Pack Training is a skill that I recommend you also max out all the way to rank 4 sooner rather than later. The reason for that is that each rank of this skill makes your boost pack more efficient to use, letting you use less fuel and regenerate the fuel that you have more quickly. Basically, once you achieve rank 4, you'll notice a huge difference, especially on low gravity planets where you can essentially fly infinitely because you have that extra potential to float, and your boost pack training will generate your fuel back before you even get close to the ground. Our number 3 skill on this list is also essential in my opinion to improve any early build in Starfield, and that is the medicine skill located in the science skill tree. Medicine basically makes your healing items more effective, increasing their total amount healed and also speeding up the healing time. And this is going to be important because the basic healing items in Starfield, such as the med packs that you can get, are extremely weak without any other bonuses. I mean, by level 10 on my first playthrough, I was basically burning through med packs like crazy, but I eventually figured out that I could upgrade their healing substantially with this skill. Even getting medicine up to rank 2 will make a noticeable difference in your overall ability to heal through damage, letting you focus more on combat at hand, which is a lot more fun. Next up on our list is weightlifting, which is found in the physical skill tree. Weightlifting is an extremely simple skill to understand as its primary use is just to increase your carrying capacity. Each rank gives you more potential carry weight, with rank 4 providing a whopping 100 bonus to your carry weight. And if you're familiar with any Bethesda title, you no doubt understand the importance of carry weight in making your life easier. With a low carry weight, you'll quickly get encumbered, and in Starfield, that's a really bad thing because your oxygen meter, which is basically your stamina, doesn't refill as quickly, and even worse, you can no longer fast travel back to your ship, or anywhere for that matter, essentially leaving you stuck where you are. So this is another one you want to unlock early, and it also progresses quite easily to the next rank, simply by sprinting around when you are at near capacity. For number 5 and 6 on this list, we're going to head back to the tech tree. First, picking up the piloting skill. Now, there are 2 very important reasons you want to get piloting early on. One of those reasons is obviously ship-to-ship combat. Piloting rank 1 and rank 2 are so important that they turn your ship from basically a sitting duck into a truly useful space gladiator. At rank 1, you can engage your ship's thrusters for that boost of speed, and at rank 2, your maneuverability and turn speed is increased. And this is huge. Both of these improvements are really essential for that ship combat. And believe me, you will need to fight off some enemy ships early on in Starfield, and it's going to be a struggle if you don't have these 2 ranks of the piloting skill. Now, as I mentioned, the next skill is also related to ships, and it's just as important in helping you survive those early ship battles in Starfield, and that is called Targeting Control Systems. This skill is absolutely clutch, as it lets you lock onto an enemy ship in this kind of mini-game, which allows you to target that ship in slow motion for easily aimed lasers and missile strikes to truly decimate your enemies. Using the targeting skill is also the only way to reliably disable an enemy's ship's engine. That's if you want to approach them for boarding, if you're doing a pirate or smuggling type of playthrough. This skill is also essential. The thing about it though is it does take time to lock onto your targets, and it is a bit long at rank 1. So once you do have some extra skill points, I also recommend taking this one to at least rank 2, if not rank 3, to speed up that targeting time so you don't have to wait around as long while you get blasted by a group of space pirates. In this next section, we're going to focus primarily on utility-oriented skills. These I wouldn't say are essential, but I do recommend you get them eventually because they open up some nice gameplay options for you, allowing certain abilities in game that you won't get otherwise. First up in this group is Stealth, which is found in the physical skill tree. Now, unlike boost pack training, for example, where you can't boost at all if you don't have that skill unlocked, you can always sneak in Starfield. But what rank 1 of Stealth does, however, is it gives you access to the actual stealth meter on your screen, which is going to tell you how close you are to being detected or not. So if you're interested in a stealth build or utilizing sneak attacks for that bonus damage, which is still really strong in Starfield, this skill is pretty much essential, but really all builds can make use of that extra stealth meter, and all it's going to require is just 1 skill point to get started. Next up, another utility skill I recommend is called Gymnastics. This is also located in the physical skill tree. And now this is sort of a fun one, as rank 1 of the Gymnastics skill unlocks the combat slide, which you can use by sprinting and then using the crouch or the stealth button at the same time. This is one of those skills that isn't fully necessary in the game, but it can be helpful, especially on harder difficulty levels, as it will help you take less damage by getting to cover more quickly. Next up is the Wellness skill, also from the physical tree. This skill is pretty much a no-brainer, as it will give you a solid boost to your overall health pool, letting you survive for longer in difficult encounters. As most of the other skills in Starfield, the bonuses here are percentage-based, and they improve with subsequent ranks. So getting beyond rank 1 here is eventually recommended to really maximize your survivability on any type of build. And one more utility skill I want to mention here has to do with outpost building, and it's one that many players are going to overlook. Now this is called Planetary Habitation, and it is located in the Science skill tree. Now this skill is not required to create a basic outpost on a temperate planet, something like Jemison, where the city of New Atlantis is, for example, but this will come into play later on if you want to take your base building further out into the galaxy on planets which have more extreme temperatures. The way it works in Starfield is that especially harsh environments, those that are classified as deep freeze or inferno types, cannot be built on without this skill unlocked. So this will be extremely useful for, let's say, a pirate or a smuggler playthrough, because it's going to allow you to build your outpost on a secluded planet somewhere far away in the galaxy, away from prying eyes, allowing you to build your criminal empire in peace. Plus, each rank of this skill also increases the maximum number of outposts you can build as a nice side bonus. Our last category of important early skills I want to discuss in this video is combat skills. Now there are a wide range of combat styles available in Starfield, but these 3 basic skills will help you progress through the early game with ease, and they also apply to the widest variety of weapons, making them generally very useful for any type of build. First up is the Ballistics skill. You should get a few ranks of this skill early, because most of the weapons in Starfield qualify as ballistic weapons. This includes pistols, rifles, shotguns, and a few more. Each of those weapon types also has their own skill, which you can level up separately, but with skill points being relatively hard to come by, especially in the early game, it actually makes more sense to invest in just one skill, which will improve all of those weapons at the same time, and that's basically what the ballistic skill does. The next up is the demolition skill, which is going to help improve grenades and mines in Starfield. The demolitions is also one of those skills in the game that unlocks a unique gameplay element which you wouldn't be able to use otherwise, and that is a visible trajectory on your grenade throws. So without this trajectory perk, grenades in Starfield are pretty non-reliable, I guess we'll say. Basically, you won't really know where they're going to land, but with rank 1 of demolition skill unlocked, you can now throw grenades with much higher accuracy over terrain. You can even bounce them off of corners if you want, using that trajectory arc as a guide. So just one skill point here, you're going to get a lot of gameplay improvement in the long run for a very small investment. And finally, I recommend picking up the rapid reloading skill at some point, as certain weapons in Starfield can take a very long time to reload, especially in the heat of battle, so any improvement here will be greatly appreciated. So definitely think about picking that up if you have an extra skill point. But that is it. That is our list of the top 13 skills you need to get early in Starfield. What did you guys think of this? Have you already picked up some of these skills, or are there any important skills that I might have missed? If this guide was helpful for you, do me a favor and anti-gravity crush that like button for me to let YouTube know to share this video with others. That is much appreciated. If you like the Starfield content, let me know in the comments section below. Also, you can hit that subscribe button to see what's coming next. I have a few more guides planned, and if you'd like to see Starfield builds, you can check the video right here on your screen, where I talk about the 8 best builds in Starfield and break those down step by step, and I will see you there.